Emanuel Agustus was my toughest opponent thus far. His record didn't show his skill set, but the guy was unbelievable.
Floyd Sr., what do you think was Floyd Jr.'s toughest fight, his whole career?
Was his name Manny?
Emanuel Agustus?
Yes. I think that was one of his toughest fights.
In order for me to win, man, I gotta knock him out. I had to take the decision away from the judges. I can't afford for the fight to go to distance and it's called a draw or I get a loss. So I gotta knock the guy out. If I don't knock the guy out, then I'm not gonna win the fight. That's in my mind.
Hello. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The mediocre mind is incapable of understanding the man who refuses to bow blindly to conventional prejudices and chooses instead to express his opinions courageously and honestly. Albert Einstein. When you're different, the whole world looks at you like you're a fool. Deviating from its traditions, its values, you're ridiculed for attempting to innovate your own path, one authentic to your soul. Innately, the mediocre man will not ask, why is he doing that? Because that is an effort to truly understand. Instead, he will say, what the hell is he doing? That's not how we do things. Thus, you end up with a instance similar to Emanuel Agustus's. Agustus, a man who courageously forged his own style, mixing his art, his soul with the science of boxing, and in doing so was thought to be making a mockery of boxing. To be different is innately to be mocked. But here's the irony. We are all different, and so when we see a soul standing out and decide to meet it with hatred, we do not just snuff his light, but seal the cracks where ours wishes to break free, extinguishing that spark from ourselves all the same. To the light seeping from our cracks, to seal it and be normal. Would that not truly be insane? To deviate from your nature simply because of fear. In a life limited in time, who truly is the crazy one? And with this noted, wouldn't fear be the root of mediocrity? Food for thought. Back to Agustus. What was he doing differently? To understand, we must first understand rhythm in both boxing and dance. Rhythm in boxing is weight distribution from lead foot to back foot, and in dance, it is timing your movements to music's repeat sequences and patterns. Now, we all have a musical memory, one that stores rhythm, tones, and pitch. And so, with your musical memory, you can actually dance to music without having any music playing. I know this firsthand, as I've not only been a martial artist for a large portion of my life, but a dance performer for 3 years. And before performances, to help alleviate some of my anxiety, I would replay a beat in my head and go over my routine until it felt more natural. Now, with a boxing rhythm, Emanuel uses what's known as a broken rhythm to integrate dance moves. A broken rhythm is constant changes in the cadence of your rhythm to make your movements more
unpredictable.
And this can be a double-edged sword, because if your opponent catches on to your habitual changes in rhythm, picking up on the varying cadences, he can punish you for it. But Emanuel stifled your analytical process of that by making you go, what the F are you doing? By mixing his rhythm with dance, weird movements completely incongruent with the feel of the environment, he'd put you in a deer in headlights situation, pulling your mind out of the fight, whilst he is still focused in. Paired with his taunting nature, he just made it very difficult to take him seriously, and if you didn't, figuring out his broken rhythm became much more difficult. This is why, despite the controversial decisions stemming from corruption, Emanuel was notably a dominant fighter when we actually look at his bouts. But this is also why a mentally strong fighter like Floyd Mayweather legitimately beat Emanuel. Floyd was straight up dominated by how weird Emanuel was in the first round, even saying to his corner, "I can't hit him," with a look of desperation on his face as he said so. But Floyd remained serious. He persevered. He did not let the weird movements, just the overall incongruent and playful vibe, pull his mind out of the fight. And eventually, as he figured out the cadence to Emanuel's broken rhythm, Floyd Mayweather started landing more and more shots, turning Emanuel into a mortal once more. This is the true secret to Emanuel Augustus' style. Not the broken rhythm, but his ability to change your attitude towards the fight. putting you in a frame, a mental disposition that is different from what you've trained in, thus effectively scraping away inches from your game in a game of inches. It's also important to note that dance does have a hypnotic effect on the mind. We kinda zone out into a dancer's flow whilst watching them in their flow, in a way, hijacking their mind with awe. This too may have made it difficult to pick up on his constant varying cadences of rhythm or broken rhythm. So, it appears what Emanuel Agustus was doing was not so crazy after all. And tragically, from losing decision to decision due to corruption and perhaps even being shot for the same reason, Agustus's spirit had been violently held down by mediocre minds. He was a man who found a way to express his soul through a discipline he loved, and it actually worked for him. If they were more just with this warrior, the contributions he would have made to the discipline, the audience he would have brought in, the audience he was already bringing in, a great spirit like Agustus would have only done a world of good. It truly is a tragedy to see such a great spirit fall. But who knows? Killing a man is easy, but an idea is immortal. It's only a matter of time before we see that spark of madness, or should I say, sanity, once again. Agustus is alive and well, perhaps with the possibility of a comeback. I eagerly await the day, if it is to come. Until then, hope you guys enjoy the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.